But welcome to Bahrain. We are under the lights for one final qualifying session. It'll be a one-lap shootout. 19 drivers here. Audio's good. Okay, cool. Thank you. 22 seconds until we get underway. Still his speaker static. Uh-oh. Well, there's nothing we can do about it now. Of course, a few names returning to the field. Thunderbird, or formerly known as Revert, is returning. We've got Azzy is a big name who is back, and we are underway. That is incredibly loud. Adora retires to serve their qualifying ban. Azzy immediately up to the front on her return. Carbon second. Oh, Azzy braking quite early. Will she be able to bring back some of that time? She will not. It's now King who jumps up to the sharp end of the grid. Brady, though, leading. Had a very good showing last time in Bahrain for Season 5. Of course, was a very good fight for me to be in, both with Brady and the numbers. Sorry, I need to completely rebalance my audio. That should be better. King rivaling for pole. Curly up to third. The second Carlin of A. Williams. It's a 1-2 momentarily. Rifty retires after on the forced instant, as does Rosenquist. Curly, Broughton and Williams all fighting. King and Brady fighting for the pole. Though Brady does seem to have quite a healthy margin. Of course, it's impossible to know in these cars until the very end, but this grid does seem to be stabilising. As he currently looking to start from pole in the sprint race on her return, will be in 10th for the feature, but pole in the sprint is not a bad place to be. Now, what happens in this qualifying session will influence the title outcome, but so far it looks like neither of our title protagonists are running up there. King makes a mistake at the final corner, is plummeting down the grid, but it is Brady who will come through with a 37.2, 8 tenths ahead of the next car of Curly. Williams goes third, D numbers fourth, and Carbon fifth. Not sure where Broughton was, but quite a ways down the field. So, it is Brady who takes pole, followed by Curly, Williams, D numbers, Carbon, English, Finnell, Thunderbird, Salmon, and Azzy, who takes 10th. That is pole for our sprint race. 11th down goes to Born, Psycho, your other title protagonist of Broughton, followed by Sass and Pixels for your Sass, Pixels, and King for your final two finishers. Not sure what happened to King there, but Rifty, Rosenquist, and Adoro Tay. Well, Rifty and Rosenquist both crashing out. Adoro Tay serving their qualifying ban from Season 5. All bets are off now for these final two races. Strategies are configured. Would be surprised to see anyone make a stop today, but we are underway for our formation lap. A 19 car field here, and it is Azzy Iredale on her return to the F1 game as a whole who starts from pole. Someone's backwards in the background, but it is Salmon who is alongside her on the front row of this grid. Behind them, it is Thunderbird. That is the car we saw backwards off the start of this formation lap, followed by Finnell. Finnell has been a very good contender in some of these races, fighting both the former champions in FVC2, Broughton and the numbers, who are, coincidentally, your two title protagonists. On a good day, he can drive a car very well and fight with the best we have here. Behind them, it is English and Carbon. English in the running for the Season 5 driver's title. Ended up losing it at the final moment, but did manage to win the Constructors' Championship for Williams. Alongside him is Carbon. Carbon's had lots of successes in this league, both in the F1 side and the Forza side. Very, very quick back when he used to... very, very quick back on F1 21, especially when he was running on PC. Be interesting to see if he can claw anything back today. Not a great showing in Abu Dhabi, but has time to make it work. Your fourth row Your first title protagonist of the two, D numbers for VAR alongside A Williams for Carlin. Fifth row is Curly and Brady, once again two very fast drivers on their day, and Brady historically has been an incredibly quick driver here, but always compromising on strategy, never leads to results that you would think he gets. 11th back is Born, Psycho, and your second title protagonist, JL Broughton, in 13th. Alongside him, and the place behind too, is the ART duo of Sass and Pixel side by side as we round the final corner. 16th is King, also an incredibly quick driver in this league. Didn't have such a good showing in qualifying, but has been up the front multiple times. Rifty and Rosenquist were your two DNFs, and Adoro Tay returns after a very long hiatus since the middle of Season 5. Serving a qualifying ban and will be starting from the back in both races. A Williams has disconnected. Let me ping him an invite. And I hope it loads quickly. Go, 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 go. There we go. Not sure who we're waiting on, but the lights are coming on. 5 lights for the penultimate time here in FVC2. And we are away very tentatively. Salmon gets a much better start than Azzy. Azzy already squeezing him to the inside. Azzy, Finnell's got both of them. What a terrible turn one camera. They are all kinds of 3 wide, but I can't see any bits of wing. I can't see anyone backwards either. Finnell runs away with the lead. Azzy clings on second, Heather English. Salmon just shifted down to 5th. Sass drops to the back of Doro Tay, already making progress, as does King. Oh, King already into 11th, making moves. But where is D numbers? D numbers into 3rd, Broughton 9th. It's not quite enough for the title for either of them. The Dams duo of English and Williams, the ex-Williams duo of Season 5 running well, 4th and 5th. Of course, that team is still in this Constructors fight, but they are a long way off. Rosenquist gets past Psycho at the tail end of this grid. But will Azzy be able to put any pressure on Finnell? Finnell wide! Finnell very wide. That will let D numbers through. That will almost certainly let Azzy... Hang on, that will let Azzy through. That will almost certainly let D numbers through. Doesn't quite get past though for D numbers. A Williams gets past Rifty down at the tail end. This battle for the lead is already developing, and D numbers needs to try and get positions if he wants to take this in the sprint race. D numbers and JL Broughton, Prima and VAR for your two title protagonists. Brought D numbers with a very nice drive out of there on Finnell. Doesn't quite get it done on the X-Low, but will have the slipstream. Might be able to make the move into the final corner. Wastes no time sending it to the inside. Finnell's still there. Has to leave a little bit of space to protect the car. It's not worth going for anything too risky this early in the race. Azzy 45-0 purple. To be expected. D numbers has the inside, will be looking to make some moves. Broughton falls down. As it stands, Broughton will be your champion. It's too early to call though. Finnell just about manages to stay ahead. D numbers now under pressure from both the Dams cars. Carbon and Brady also there. Brady slowly making his way through the field. King also has gone from 16th to 9th already. Someone's very wide. That is Brady. Not sure what happened there. Possible contact with Curly perhaps. More contact between Brady and Curly. Not sure what's gone on there. Got to leave each other space though. They are getting away with it. Someone's very far from the background. That's Broughton, your second title protagonist. This is not what Broughton needs. This is good for D numbers though. Lots of battling ahead between Psycho, Pixels and Rifty as you see here. Brady looking to make the move on Curly though. It's under threat from King. Brady unable to get anything done on Curly, having to defend from King. King has had some very good showings so far this season. What a race this is turning out to be. The entire field very close across a field spread, and once again it is a fantastic race here in Bahrain. King closing up to the back of Brady. Won't get anything done to the final corner though. They are all stuck nose to tail with this little train held. speaking of holding the car, Brady almost with a massive accident there as Brady puts in a 41-2 at the sharp end of the grid. The numbers now move for second on Finnell. Absolutely lovely stuff there from your current title leader, though Finnell looking to get back past. As it stands, D Numbers is very safe in this title. Broughton falling back once again to 15th. Rifty and Psycho both get by. Finnell, though, not looking to give up this second podium space yet. Yellow flags, that is Rosenquist, who is off the road. The Numbers keeps that car ahead of Finnell quite nicely, as he is here. King up into 7th, has got past Curly as well. King fighting pretty much from the back of this field, making good progress, as has Adoro Tay. Brady now getting past Curly. They're still side by side though. Keep it nice and clean. You don't want to spin. Curly just gets back past for the moment. Though Brady, Brady to the inside of Curly. That was a brilliant move. Doesn't quite pull it off, but A for effort. Brady to the inside on Curly. Has to be careful to not make contact. Curly defending this position very well. D Numbers purple, 40.8. D Numbers is absolutely flying towards Azzy. Azzy most definitely under threat now. It's a three-way fight for the lead. Could easily become 4. D Numbers right on the back of that Prema. I have no idea who comes out on top in the Teams Championship as it stands, but I believe it might be Prema. Just 3.33 tenths between Azzy and D Numbers. Yellow flags once more. That is for Rifty, who's encountered trouble. But this fight for the lead is still developing. English slowly taking time out. Rosenquist spins again through turn 3. Not sure what's up with their car. Finnell, no, that was D Numbers very wide. Might have taken a warning for that, not sure. Brady gets past Salmon for 7th further down. Of course, the more these three fight, the more cars this will bring in, because it's going to be very easy for English to get DRS, and he will bring Carbon and King. D Numbers is going to have to be wary of King especially. And I think Brady also. Can we appreciate Sass not last? Yeah, Sass is doing well. Very good showing. Rifty disconnects, I'm assuming. 2.5 tenths now between D Numbers and Azzy. Both were Season 5 title protagonists. Azzy having to drop out halfway through due to other commitments. But now we get to see these two go head to head once again. Azzy defending all the way to the inside. King, 40.2. D Numbers takes it on the timing board, but Azzy is still there on the inside. Azzy holds it for the moment. D Numbers still there on the inside. Has to be pretty careful through turn 2. Finnell makes contact with D Numbers. Finnell very sideways. Gives a bigger gap to English and King, who is now up into 4th. But your top two still going at it. Azzy holds the inside and holds the lead. Carbon also making good progress up to 5th. Rosenquist encountering trouble through the final corner. This is an absolutely titanic battle between Azzy and D Numbers. But D Numbers has got to be careful, has to think about the championship. As nice as it would be to take it with a race win, you've got to get the car home first. He's in a safe position. He just needs to be 3rd or better with where Broughton currently is. King up into 3rd on English. Just caught that at the bottom of our screens. English holding the outside. King, though, just keeps it in. English forced to go a little bit, not forced to go wide, but runs out of grip. Carbon now could be looking to capitalize on that. Might be saving tyres, getting ready to go for a move. Using all of the available space. Meanwhile, back up to the front, D Numbers going to have another crack at Azzy. She is holding on for this win on with everything, and she is doing a fantastic job of it. Considering, to my knowledge, not very much preparation, if any. Brady goes purple, 39.8. Will we see any moves? Carbon looking to make a move on English. Won't get it done though. Almost contact again. All kinds of, well, there's a bit of a blue mess there between Curly, Finnell and Williams, I believe that was. The numbers though, just not quite able to get close enough down these straights to make a move. Has better speed and has better mid-speed though through the corners. Will we see something a little bit more optimistic? Turn 10 is always a place to go for a little bit of a surprise move. We've seen it happen a few times in FX. We've seen it happen just this year in real life between Alonso and Hamilton. D Numbers does not make the move. Finnell does make a move on Salmon though. But this is now bringing King into the fight. And as a result, English and Carbon also here. English really under threat from Carbon. Carbon just a 10th back. They're going to have to be careful to not fall off King. Meanwhile, up at the sharp end, D Numbers and Azzy. Once again, this fight is continuing. I'd be willing to call this a 6-way fight for the lead now. They've all got DRS on each other, and Azzy might be in the worst place as we head back towards the front stretch. 2 1/4 tenths is the closest they've been. King, though, also looking to stick his nose in. D Numbers getting a pretty tidy exit. Someone's wide. That's Carbon. What can D Numbers do? What can King do? D Numbers looks the outside. Will King also make it 3 wide? I think he has. He hasn't. D Numbers, though, looking to get around the outside at turn 1. Almost contact. A lovely move there from the VAR driver. Will Azzy have DRS? She will not. She will. Lying a little bit early there, really leaving King not much space. But D Numbers has escaped with the lead here. Azzy and King now side by side. King immediately looking to dispatch wants that win. Front wing to alongside. Contact! That's Azzy. Does well to save it. Will come under threat from Brady though. It's all gone a little bit wrong for her this lap. Carbon also there. Carbon though getting a little bit of oversteer. Your fight now becomes D Numbers versus King. Let's see what happens here. King is immediately closing, maybe running a little bit less downforce, so will have the assistance of DRS through there. So we can't take that to be all too representative of the true straight line speed of that high tech. Carbon again, really pushing those track limits. Apex in chat saying as he has run out of luck, and he would be correct. She's not had a great last lap, but let's see if she can make anything back. She has the pace. Was able to hold on for the lead for 6.5 laps. 7.5 laps even, but King making the move for the lead on D Numbers. Fires that car to the inside. D Numbers will have the DRS of maybe a little bit of strategic hanging back there. Side by side for these two, contact! D Numbers does well to escape with it, but will he be able to get the move done on King? We'll have to go around the outside to do it. They're 4 wide in the background. Brady, Azzy, English, Carbon. Azzy goes back up into third, but gets pivoted on. Who is that? That's Brady. Not good for either of the two. King held on to the lead during all of that. Williams and Curly also racing for position. Curly's right. Well, we found Curly. That explains things. Azzy and Brady side by side. Azzy going to be forced to hang around the outside. It's turn 10. Will just lose out, but gets the better exit, but just can't quite capitalize on it. Doesn't quite get space. Carbon looking to make that move for the final podium position. When will he make the move on English? The move comes now. Going to be side by side for these two. Will have to hang on around the outside. He does. An amazing drive to battle with, especially on the Forza side. Haven't raced him much in F1, but from what I can tell you from Forza, it is something. The fight for the lead is still just about happening, but it's the fight for third, which is the one that is interesting. Carbon under threat from both English and Brady. English will be forced to look to the outside. Where will Brady go? Brady also going to the inside. They're going to be 3 wide. Carbon with a beautiful defense. That said, there's still 3 wide. Carbon's going to struggle to hold on. They're wheel banging all over the place. Carbon gets done. Azzy's also here to say hello. Will she be able to make it 3 wide? We'll look up the inside for turn 4. Has to back out to avoid the contact. English and Brady still side by side. Neither of these drivers will want to give an inch. This final podium space being hotly contested for English. Almost looking, Azzy almost seemed to have some difficulties there. As he gets round the outside of English, English suffering a little bit from over-rotation. Azzy has muscled her way through for 4th, but will have to try and put that move on Brady. Carbon now pretty firmly ahead of English. But this battle is only getting bigger and bigger. Finnell now joining the back of this queue. Yellow flags come out. Not sure who that's for. Could that be for Bourne? It was. Not sure what happened there. Sass now is the leading ART. Not sure if Pictures will have a spin or anything, but it's not important. Broughton just not quite in the points. As it stands, D Numbers is set to be your champion. Someone's a long way off the road there. Not sure who that was. I think that might have been Pixels. Meanwhile, back at the sharp end, Azzy trying to close the gap to Brady, but Brady is starting to run away with it. Finnell on the back of English on the right-hand side of your screen won't be close enough for a move, in my opinion. Doesn't get anything this time, but Salmon looking to take the outside on Williams. Lovely switchback move there, but Williams will have the inside. Salmon will have the DRS into turn 4. Let's see what happens between these two. 10th between them. Salmon has the outside. Has to hesitate to turn in. Run all the way off by Williams, but it's a clean move. It's a clean defense. Back up to the front. Brady slowly putting a gap on Azzy and King. Definitely putting a gap on D Numbers. But it doesn't matter. D Numbers is currently secure. Unless all manner of things goes wrong in this battle for third, which is still developing between Brady and Azzy. It's D Numbers' title. Both Azzy and Carbon pushing the limits off the track there, but they can get away with it. Carbon, though, pushing them a little bit more. Let's see if Azzy will be close enough to do anything into turn 1. Little bit of oversteer. King, purple, 39.8. Yellow flags have come out. Think that might be for Bourne. Azzy, though, just compromising her exit a little bit too much. That said, has got a lot of overspeed on Brady to turn 1. It's an ambitious move. Has to back out. It's under threat from Carbon as a result. Let's see what she can get done here. King absolutely going for his crown. You're very correct there, Impulse. Pixels takes a 3-second time penalty, the first of the night. And I'm sure it won't be the last. 5 cars here, all very much in contention for this final podium place. Will we see any ambitious moves be made into turn 10? Azzy won't be close enough to Brady, Carbon won't be close enough to Azzy, but Finnell might be close enough to English, will not go for anything. It's Brady that leads the 5-car train. English, though, falling off a little bit from Carbon, maybe not so much in contention. Under threat now from Finnell, though. Finnell really pushing the track limits there. It's a pretty creative interpretation. I'll give him that. Could we see anyone use that in the feature race now it's been discovered? Bourne retires on track, I think that is. Not the most legal thing we've ever seen. King purple again, 39.6. Just 7/10, splitting third through fifth. You can see that English and Finnell battle happening in the foreground of your screen, and that A. Williams and Salmon battle in the background there into turn one. No changes just yet, but English and Finnell, Finnell firing that car up the inside. English though will have the better drive off the corner, won't quite get enough of it though. A very nice move as we see Salmon and Williams also very close together. English and Finnell though trading places once again. Not sure I'm there, but Finnell holds position. English won't be close enough to go for anything into turn 10. Sass moves up to P15 with Bourne's retirement. Salmon and Broughton. No, Salmon Williams and Broughton behind. Broughton looking to claw his way back into the points, but 8th position is not quite enough. But we will have to abandon this battle because it is King who rounds the final corner for the penultimate time this season to take your race win after 12 laps of your sprint. But it is D Numbers, your driver in second, who is your Season 3 FVC2 champion. It's Season 1 and Season 3 for the two-time champion. Brady comes home third with Carbon 4th, Azzy 5th, Finnell 6th, English 7th, Williams 8th, Salmon 9th, and Broughton, your other protagonist, comes home 10th. Behind him is Curly in 11th, Adoro 12th, Psycho 13th, Thunderbird comes home 14th. Sass looking to come home ahead of Pixels for P15 and P16. Will we see some formation flying here for the ART duo? They're side by side. Pixels gets past. Not sure if that was an intended trading of positions or not. But it is Pixels. No, Pixels hesitates, waits for Sass to be side by side for these two. Formation flying all the way home for 15th and 16th. It is King on the top step of the podium, but it is the man to his left who is your Season 3 champion. It has been a fantastic season so far, but there is still one more race left to contest. And now that there's not a Drivers' Championship on the line, I think things could be about to get interesting. Join us shortly for coverage for the feature race. It is King who takes, well, the win and fastest lap, a 39.557, an 11-point haul. Will he be able to repeat his absolute heroics, 16th to 1st in the feature? But it's this man, D Numbers, D765, YT123 for Van Amersfoort Racing, 7th to 2nd. A drive worthy of a championship, and a championship he has claimed. A fantastic fight against JL Broughton, the two FVC2 champions going head to head, but it is D Numbers who holds on to the crown for just a little bit longer. Brady is third, followed by Carbon, Azzy, Finnell, English, Williams, Salmon, and Broughton for your top 10, with Curly, Adoro, Psycho, Thunder, Sass, Pixels, Rifty, Bourne, and Rosenquist rounding off the other 9. Join us shortly for the feature race. But we have 19 cars for yet another race here in Bahrain as our formation gets underway. Let's bring up the tyres while we run through this, shall we? Most people opting for the hards. A few soft runners, though. It'd be interesting to see what they do. But it is Brady who took pole in a, well, I'd like to say close qualifying session, but he did it by 8/10, so, you know. Alongside him is Curly, your first of 3 soft runners. Behind them is A. Williams and your newly crowned champion of D numbers. A valiant drive from him last race, and I'm sure we will see something just as good this time. Carbon is in 5th with English alongside him, with Finnell and Thunderbird behind. Thunderbird being your second driver to opt for the soft. Behind them it is Salmon and Azzy Iredale. Azzy, well, she had a very good run for the first part of the sprint race. Slightly fell off the fight for the lead and eventually the podium, but she did her best and she was clawing back time. The 6th row is Bourne and Psycho, both on the hards, with Braun and Sass the row behind, with in 13th and 14th. 15th and 16th, or the 8th row of the grid, went to Pixels and King. King, starting 16th last race, had a fantastic showing, driving all the way up to the front of the lead, fighting past the likes of D numbers, Brady, Carbon, Azzy, for a fantastic race win. Best lap by, what, 6/10 over D numbers? Don't know if anyone quicker than D numbers, but I know King certainly did. The 9th row will be Rifty and Rosenquist, both unfortunately retiring from the last race, with Adoro Tay, after serving a qualifying ban accumulated in Season 5 all those months ago, starts P19. Join us for 16 laps here in Bahrain, your final 16 of the season. Let's put on a show. As in Sass crashed somehow. Oh no. That's incredibly unfortunate. Not sure what the hole is here. Ah, that's why. Dorothée just pulling into the back of that. Was that Dorothée or was it Rosenquist? No idea. But does it matter? We have got an awful view of these start lights. You'll go on board with Brady, but lights are out. We are away for the final time. Carly immediately uses those softs to get up into the lead. A little bit of contact there. They're 3 wide behind, I think 2 or 3 times over. Someone's not moved. That's Bourne. Someone sideways. Was that English? That's someone very sideways. That's someone off into the wall. That's Broughton. A bad night goes from bad to worse. Sass also involved, I think, Rosenquist too. No safety car yet, but a lot of damage to that car. Meanwhile, it's a Carlin 2-3. Will Williams be looking to get past Brady? Williams does. Keeps it clean between the 2 teammates. D numbers, though, immediately looking to make moves. King, once again with a good start. 16th to 10th. Adoro Tay mirroring that. 19th to 11th, now 12th as he gets passed by Azzy. D numbers now looking to make a move on A. Williams, but Carbon's on his inside. Contact Carbon round! Very lucky that car ghosted, else that could have been nasty. Finnell is your next car looking to make a move on the champion. 2-3 tenths now. Not quite close enough. Meanwhile, D numbers pushes up to the back of that Carlin once again. Curly purple, 43.4. Yeah, very significant Carbon. But, oh, contact between D numbers and Brady. D numbers hard into the wall. I was looking at chat for that one, but it looks like A. Williams just squeezed the numbers a little bit too hard up into the wall. Heartbreak for the champion, but at least this race is not an important one for his title attack. Rosenquist boxes. Broughton is up to 15th, stays out with the damage, which surprises me. Thunderbird and Finnell side by side now. Almost bang wheels, but Thunderbird making very good use of those soft tyres. As he now gets past Adorote, but they're still fighting for it. Adorote looks to the inside. A very ambitious move down the inside of turn 10. That was fantastic. Doesn't quite get the drive he needs to keep ahead of Azzy, but seems to have a little bit less aero. That was absolutely fantastic stuff there. A little bit of a wheel bang, but through goes Adorote. English now looking to join this little bit of a fight as well. It's certainly a feisty one. Three very fast drivers, all further down this grid than they should be. King also looking to make a move on Psycho. Talk about a driver who is much further down than he should be. 41.1 for Carly, 40.9 for Brady. Brady starting to close in already. Rosenquist encountering issues at turn 10. Was that Azzy who made the move? These F2 cars confuse me. But it is Azzy who is once again under threat from Adorote. Adorote pushes her all the way to the inside. No, sorry, Azzy oh god, cars are confusing, okay? There we go. Azzy though defends very well from Adorote there. Adorote has the inside, won't be able to capitalize on it though. Meanwhile, just ahead, it's King and Psycho. Someone's sideways. Was that Adorote? I think it might have been, but they're still side by side. There's going to be another position change through turn 10. Azzy just keeps ahead. Azzy in the Red Bull. Yes. King, a 10th back from Psycho, looks to make the move into turn 11. Too much though, it's too much to ask from the car, from the grip. With a little bit of a hospital, will now join this Azzy Adoro English fight. Yeah, it's not particularly helpful. Oh, contact between King and Adoro there. King unable to make the move stick, and you'd think all the action would be happening at the sharp end of this field. Why have I got a ping? Oh. Adoro and Azzy side by side once again. Adoro though just lets King go ahead even for the DRS. Thunder and Williams fighting for third and fourth, that final podium space. Thunder using those tyres very well. Lovely sweeping move around the outside there, but A. Williams is able to keep it alongside. Contact! Thunder though keeps ahead. Azzy and King. No. Azzy and Psycho even. Fighting side by side. Azzy unable to get something done into turn 10. Takes that extra traction though. It's going to be right on the back of that VAR, but it's Finnell and Williams. Williams slightly slipping through the field a little bit as things progress, but doing well to hold position. Rosenquist encountering more troubles through turn 3. Meanwhile, Brady's slowly starting to close in on Curly for the lead. Finnell looks to the inside of Williams, doesn't quite get it done. Will have the better exit though. Lovely move, Brady purple, 40.6. Let's see what happens between these two, and then we will have to jump up to the front of this field. Almost nothing between the pair. Finnell and Williams for fourth. Finnell hangs it up the inside. Won't quite get done though, but for the lead! Brady looks to go right round the outside of Carly. Brady just muscles his way by. Has the lead for the moment, but Carly will be able to use DRS later. Left to right on your screen as they go back to left. It is battling all up and down this field. But King, though, quietly working away. Is currently stopping in 8th. Broughton 40.4 on the softs. Clearly opting to change that wing at some point. Carbon falling down the grid. What's happened there? I think a little bit of maybe a bad run through turn 10, but this fighting with Psycho. Looks up the inside. Meanwhile, Azzy and King fighting. Some of the fastest drivers in this league all together on track. Meanwhile, Azzy looks to get past Williams. Not sure if Williams has picked up damage or is just struggling on those worn tyres. Williams has picked up damage to that left side of the front wing. Contact there with Azzy. King will get by on the outside. Brady, 40.4, runs away with the lead. A Williams dives into the pit lane. That is to be expected, but will have a hard time making softs last for that long. King holds back on a move on Azzy's slight lockup, it sounded like there. Little bit of connection issues coming into play with this one, but all seems okay. Azzy closing up to the back of Salmon. King closing up to the back of Azzy there. Let's see. What are your predictions for this race win? Of course, Brady seems to be pretty safe for the moment, but anything can happen in these races. 4 cars, all in contention for that final podium space, led by Thunderbolt. Or Thunderbird even. That's gamble to start the soft, clearly working out quite well for the moment, but we'll have to see, because that car will be on the weaker hard tyre. More Carbon and English. Carbon absolutely sending it down the inside there, a risky move that did result in a spin earlier, but gets away with it this time. Doesn't quite take the position though. Meanwhile, Azzy getting closer to the back of the dams of Salmon. Brady, 40.3. We have done well not to have a safety car tonight, though I think I have just jinxed that as Carbon encounters issues through the final corner. The wing is still on that car though, so we will proceed. It's all kinds of battling up front. 4 cars, all within an extremely close margin. King went into the back of Azzy. I think Salmon going to the back of Thunderbird as well. Compromising Salmon though. Azzy getting a much nicer, tidier run up to turn 4. Thunderbird holds it. Azzy takes that final podium position, but here comes King. King just forced to drop off the numbers boxes. King losing out to Salmon there as well. Not what he wants to see. The cars behind having a battle. Hang on, full safety car's been deployed. Why was that? Rosenquist has gone out somewhere. I could not tell you where, but somewhere. Full safety car is deployed. This plays pretty well into... Well, this plays very well into the hands of the drivers of to the likes of Carly and Thunderbird, who can get on the hards now while everyone else has to box for the soft and can go to the end quite comfortably. This might just work out for the soon to be soft runners, but we will see. Brady comes in, as does Curly. Brady 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. It's huge upset at the front. Thunderbird will be next in. Azzy 2. Salmon also comes in. King gambles on staying out. Salmon Finnell coming in as well. Huge amounts of speeding penalties being dished out. OJ English in. Adora in. Let's see who's got penalties. Brady and Thunderbird. The numbers though, a slightly poorly timed pit stop, but will be coming back through this field. Well, someone asked for a commentator's curse ahead of this tonight, and whoever it was, you have got it, just maybe not for the thing you were hoping. Most of the field has come in for new tyres, I believe. Everyone but your leader. Sass also coming in, an ART double stack, though gets in just as Pixels leaves, but will see some amount of delays. A Williams will get out ahead of her. Sass falls to the back after an unsavoury pit stop cycle. But I'm curious to see what King is doing here. Of course, in theory, could take third in this championship. Not sure what the maths is, but I know Broughton was the driver that could have been, or was a driver that could be displaced for second. Not sure if by King, though. But Broughton not having the greatest night here in Bahrain. King has no hope here. I would like to say I'm thinking the same, but whether or not something's going to change, I don't know. Yeah, I doubt he'll get back through, but it's whether or not there's a massive accident. He could box now, but I don't know where it would spit him out. Surely behind that massive train of cars just entering the third sector at the top. Surely. He does peel in though, so we will find out. Let's stick with him and see where that high-tech emerges. King in for the softs. Will come out behind that train of cars. Will come out behind English. Will come out in 11th. Interesting to see what the strategy is here. We'll have 1 lap fresher tyres. Of course, the numbers on the oldest tyres here. King has got out ahead of him. I think we're going to see another lap under the safety car though, so he's running out of time to do it. We'll certainly make this race exciting, Apex. But I don't think it's the wisest move to strategically make, but there are a few 5 seconds to contend with. But Curly and Thunderbird might be in trouble here. It's a shame that we can't see tyre wear metrics. I don't think. We can just... no, we can't. But we will see. Of course, driving up to the safety car at that speed won't do the tyres any good either. But he has a little bit of time to conserve. I'm curious to see what is going to happen here. Pixels edging ever closer to those elusive points. Could we see ART take some points home at the final moment? Stick with us, because this one might just be carnage. I know, I can't help but wonder, those of you who have been around a while, FVC2 Season 1 had a final race that had a safety car, and Turn 1 was certainly, well, it was certainly an event. Could we see a repeat of the Turn 1 carnage that occurred in Monza just 1 year ago? Stick with us. There's only one more lap until we find out. Apex is ready for death. Let's see. We've got 17 cars here that will all be... well, engines will be screaming as we enter turn 1. Everyone has to make moves. Brady needs to drive off into the sunset. Thunderbird does as well, but it's going to struggle on that slower tyre. What penalty has Broughton picked up? 3 seconds, possibly for track limits. Azzy is in very good stead here to challenge for the win. 2 of the cars ahead have penalties, and the only one that doesn't is on that much slower hard tyre. But she will have to be a little bit mindful of the tyre wear. Safety car should be in shortly. Yes, it is. Wow. Please tell me about that in a minute when this is over. Text me, because I'm very interested to hear about that, Apex. Do you want me to announce that on stream? Final corner now for Brady. We will return to racing shortly. When will he go? Backs up the field. Everyone very close. Could be a Constantina. We are away. One final dance here in Bahrain. Carly immediately challenges for the lead. All kinds of 3 wide behind. There's not been a massive pile drive. Brady emerged with the lead. Someone looked sideways there. Could that have been... I don't know if that was Williams, but Salmon's been shafted. As he immediately gets past Thunder. Thunder will have the inside into turn 4 as he's using those softs, getting nice and around the outside. A tidy move. 2 positions to go now. 2 places to gain. Has to clear Carly quickly. They are all funneling into the racing line behind. All kinds of position changes. A nice helicopter cam here focusing on English. English and Psycho side by side. English holds it. Azzy though getting past Carly and towards turn 11. Carly forced to take the outside. Azzy nice up the inside, but will have to keep within 5 seconds of Brady. It is all to play for with just 5 laps to go. So far we have avoided the expected turn 1 death. Everyone's doing very well and keeping it very clean though. King in trouble. King sideways. Brady 39.6 as he knows her target. A little bit further up, Adoro has jumped up into 5th. I have no idea how that's happened, but he's done very well to get that car there. It has gone a little bit unnoticed since the start of this race, but has definitely made a reappearance. We'll be looking to get back past Thunderbird. Almost gets it done a little bit earlier than we were expecting. Thunderbird struggles. Through goes Adoro. Tay! Thunderbird backwards. Bit of a dangerous reset to track there. Could see a post-race penalty handed out for that one. All kinds of shuffling between these 3. Someone goes very defensive. That was King into Broughton, I think that was, or Broughton into King. It was one of the 2 combinations. Carbon gets back past Adoro Tay. Adoro just fighting to try and take 4th here. Both these drivers will be looking to clear Curly. Yeah, easy Thunder Pen. I was thinking so. Two-tenths between Carbon and Adorote, both very established drivers in this league. Adorote fighting for multiple wins and taking one at Portimao. Two and a quarter tenths, 1.5. Brady, 38.7, Azzy unable to match. Adorote is making the move on Carbon. Here comes Adoro. Tidy move up the inside. It's not a dominant pass. Carbon is able to fight it back. Carbon holds it ahead for now. Was that someone sideways I just saw? Doesn't look like it. Adoro, though, just gets up nicely up the inside of Carbon there. I was about to say things starting to even out a little bit in this field, but most certainly not, as King encounters yet more trouble. Damage to the left-hand side of that end plate, or left-hand side of that wing even. End plate completely missing, as is the upper wing element. The two Dams pairings very close together in contention for 5th, hunting Carbon, who will be attempting to hunt Adorote, but Adorote seems to have left him for dead. Will be closing up for Carly now, will be eager to take a podium, would have driven 19th to 3rd in this race, and could even be more depending on Brady's penalty, but will have a little bit of progress to make before then. Salmon also on the back of Carbon, being tailed by his teammate of English, the ex-Williams duo, now Dams duo. We've seen them together quite a lot, but it just never seems to quite work out for them. But will this be the race where they get 2 cars in the top 6? Had a strong start to the season, but seemed to fall off around the midway mark. Salmon looks to the inside of Carbon. Thunderbird, 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane, retires the car. Grifty, King also having to box for that new wing. Adoro now on the back of Curly. What will we see happen here? In theory, he'll have more grip, but those softs are going to fall off soon enough. Three and a quarter tenths, 2 tenths, 1 tenth. Here comes Adorote on Carbon. Tiny move on Carly even. Tiny move to the inside, but they are still side by side. Adorote will have to do this round the outside if he wants the place. Will have the grip. Carly sideways. Carly into the barrier. Hugely unfortunate there. A possible podium thrown away. The numbers now looking to close up onto his teammate. Looks to the inside of Psycho. Moves up into 8th with 2 laps to go in this race. But Psycho is coming back on the VAR driver, on the champion. Psycho eager to prove that just because his teammate is champion does not mean he is a bad driver. And he is certainly proving that. Lovely move up into the inside of turn 1 there. Defends the track position nicely. Contact between D Numbers and Broughton. Your 2 championship rivals before tonight. Imagine if that had been in the feature race. English and Salmon, the Dams duo, also fighting for Dams honours. English gets past your leading Williams driver in Season 5. Looks to be trying to re-establish that dominance here with a few laps left to go in FVC2. Broughton just 2/10 back. Ipex asking, as an ex-Williams driver, how was it to see Williams on top again? It was bittersweet. It was nice to see Williams finally get the glory that they deserved, but also slightly annoying after moving over to Aston Martin. But I'm very happy for them both. They've driven amazingly, both through Season 5 and here, and I hope that we will get to see them team up again. Maybe trying to defend that Williams title in the Summer Series. Williams just 2 1/4 tenths back on Salmon. Very late move to the inside. Absolutely sensational, but runs a little bit deep. That lets Salmon come back through. We did well, but it wasn't the greatest season we've ever seen. Williams and Salmon, more contact on the final lap, fighting for 6th. Meanwhile, Azzy, just 3 seconds back from Brady, puts her in a very good position to inherit the race win. But Carbon and English fighting. This is for 4th. English making a very late move on Carbon. Carbon are just defending it. Will English be able to get past for 4th? We might not know until we see them run to the line, because there is not much time left in this race. 3/10. English will be fighting with everything. It will be Brady Pollock 037 who comes through to finally claim a Bahrain win, but it's only on track. A 5-second penalty will put him behind Azzy. Adorote comes home 3rd to round out the podium. Carbon will be 4th. English having a heartbreaking final corner. Something's gone wrong there. Williams 5th. English 6th to lead the Dams duo home. D Numbers 8th. Broughton 9th. Fiddle 10th after a penalty. Psycho 11th. It will be Pixels who will lead. It will not be Pixels. It will be Sass. It will be Donuts for the ART duo. Sass and Pixels. Slightly dangerous place to do them, but a sensational end to the season. Once again, it's formation all the way home, led by Sass. Carly will be next, and King looked promising at the start, but a bad strategy call and a little bit too much contact sees him down in 15th. It is Azzy Iredale who makes a return to the top step of the podium here in F1, as we so often see her up there. It's been a few races without her, but it is good to have her back, even if it is just for tonight. Brady comes home 2nd with Adorote, 19th to 3rd. A performance that cannot be understated, and a very big statement of intent when we return with the Summer Series in a few weeks' time. Azzy Iredale takes home a healthy 25 points. It is Brady who takes the fastest lap in 2nd, and Adorote rounding out your podium for Trident with some fantastic moves near the end of that. Carbon comes home 4th after a fight with English, who comes home 6th. Williams is the driver that splits the pair, with Salmon following his fellow Dams driver home. Your newly crowned champion in 8th is D Numbers, followed by Broughton and Finnell to round out your top 10, the latter two both taking penalties. 11th down went to Psycho, Sass, Pixels, Curly, King, Rifty, Thunderbird, Rosenquist and Bourne, after an unfortunate technical issue saw them unable to start the race. This has been Season 3 of FVC2. I have been your commentator, Scarlett, and we will see you in just a few weeks' time for the summer series.